everybody today. I have the honor of being your speaker today. Reverend Mike is in Arrowhead doing his annual workshop for Memorial Day. And so, just give a little love and say hello to somebody today.
Bless you.
Science as our facilitator. Lighting the flames of faith, a call to service. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unified nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. So as Reverend Kathy lights the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony, equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic tradition, honoring the beliefs and practice of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for those who are as yet unaware of spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at the center. And as Reverend Kathy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and I see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
So join me in consciousness. As I speak my word in the first person for each one here, recognizing that there is only love. There is one power, which is God, which is love. And God is also wealth, health, and creativity. It's divine guidance and direction and protection. And I am one with this Spirit of God. I'm one with God's love as I am one with its divine wealth, health, and creativity, and divine guidance, direction, and protection. And so I hereby proclaim that this day is a perfect idea in the mind of God, that this weekend, Memorial Weekend, we have the opportunity to remember and celebrate the lives of those who died while serving this country, including service animals. And right here and right now, I know it's a time of remembering our loved ones who have passed from this plane, remembering them with love. And I know right now that everything in this morning, this beautiful Sunday morning, is unfolding, expressing God's love through the music, through Reverend Michael, through the sound booth, through each and every person here. And so I am so grateful and thankful for this beautiful day to celebrate Sunday, to celebrate life. And so with gratitude, I release my word into the law of mind as I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning, everybody. As I mentioned in my treatment, that this weekend is Memorial Weekend, and it's a time to celebrate with picnics and barbecues, and it's kind of a kickoff for the summer season. It's the first 3-day weekend of the summer, and I like this weekend because the weather is cool. And also, though, it's also, as we remember the people and service animals who serve this country, we can we remember this too. And so in that case, it's kind of a bittersweet weekend to me. I feel this was a time, my father passed away this was 29 years ago, right before Memorial Day weekend. So I do feel a little bit of sadness as well as celebrating the beginning of the summer season. And he was a World War II veteran, so it was probably appropriate that he did pass right before that weekend. So, what can I say, though, in religious science about grief? You know, there's a temptation in this teaching to kind of feel like we always have to have this positive, upbeat attitude where we're just always smiling and everything's going to be fine. But the truth is, there are times when it's normal to grieve. We remember our loved ones, and we miss them. And one of the things I've learned, too, about grieving, that it's not appropriate to say things like, somebody's just lost a loved one, well, it was his time to go. It's time to move on. Don't build a condo in Payne City. Or if it was an, and then another thing, too, that I've found with, if we're animal lovers, people say, oh, it's only an animal. Or to somebody who's recently widowed, oh, well, you'll find another husband or wife. You know, just replace that person with another person. We can't always, new things fill in the space, but it doesn't, what can I say, replace that unique relationship that we had with that person. And every month we have a bereavement group led by Reverend Jessica where people can share about their loved ones who've passed on, and we don't give any platitudes, and we just have a loving and supportive attitude. And grieving or remembering loved ones does not contradict this teaching. Ernest Holmes says on page 387, "It is human to grieve over the loss of dear ones. We love them and cannot help missing them. But a true realization of the immortality and continuing of the individual soul will rob us of our grief of hopelessness." So, bless you, and so it is.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Today we have two special long-time members here, way before I was ever here. And they are going to do two of their original songs, which are just beautiful. They're really sweet songs. Please welcome Alex and Rosalie.
We all know where we are. What are we going to do? The tables all have turned. Now it's up to me and you. When we're in love, we know what we're living for, and everything is so much easier, and the little things mean so much more. And when hard times come around, we get lost in the mix. We keep thinking that there's something we need, or something we need to fix. Just look for the finer things. They're here all around, right there in the treasure chest of your heart, where you find the lost and found. And when we're here, there's nothing to fear. Love is a place that's always near. Just look for the finer things. they're here all around. Right there in the treasure chest of your heart, where you find the lost and found.
Thank you. We're going to have our announcements now. So on Tuesday, May 31st, will be the final class of Dr. Hirano's Energetics of Health. And it's the last of the 3-day workshops, Symmetry, Shape, and Shift. Wednesday, June 1st, 8th, and 15th at 9:30 a.m. is the Sangha Spiritual Cinema by Reverend Jeannie Hoffman. Thursday, June 16th from 7 to 9 p.m., Reverend Mike's going to start the prosperity class, A Hero's Journey in Faith and Prosperity. And it's for 8 weeks, and it's $45 for the cost of materials. Friday, June 17th at 6:30, we're going to have Kirtan Music, is that how I pronounce it, with Ken Francis and friends, so save the date. And you can sign up in Sparks Hall, and there's more information about our activities. So thank you, and we will now stand and have our Declaration of Principles. We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe our faith operates upon a law of mind which automatically invests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and in the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
Well, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Well, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Well, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah, yeah. A feeling go down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling go down in my soul. God is so good. A feeling go down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah, yeah. Well, I got up this morning singing. Well, I got up this morning singing. Well, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah, yeah. A feeling go down in my soul. Feeling go down in my soul. A feeling go down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. Here we go. My God is so. My God is so. My God is so good to me. Yeah.
Good morning again. I'm going to talk about self-love again. And I did it several months ago, and it was my beginning of pouring love into myself. And I did it, and it was rich, and I was beginning to see the results of it. Things were beginning to flow. And I drifted off a little bit. You start something and it's good, and then you kind of think, okay, I did the work and it's going to keep happening. Nuh-uh. So it's one of those things that loving ourselves is a continuous process. And I think that for me, it's one of those reminders that we have to stay in the game. We have to continuously pay attention to what we're doing and how we are experiencing life. And it occurred to me that all the teachers that I've read about, the different philosophers, spiritual philosophers, have encouraged us to love ourselves. It's one of those things that we've heard so much that we begin to take it a little bit like, oh yeah, and we say, oh, I love myself. But when I start thinking about, okay, what does it mean to love myself? What am I doing to demonstrate that I love myself? And it's something that really hit home to me, because in the last 9 months I've been able to facilitate this class, where it's a beginning class, and the students have really reinforced the philosophy of me amazingly. And one of the things that I've felt that was brought out is that this self-love is the foundation for which we are experiencing these principles from. Love is the tool that puts the power into this philosophical thinking. It is the how we can heal ourselves or resolve whatever issues that we are having in life. There is that component of love that really takes it into another realm of it flowing into expression. And actually, I think love is the tool that could probably heal all the world issues. And I think it's been suggested by quite most teachers I've read have suggested it. It motivates, it inspires, it heals, it lifts us up. It does so many things, and whatever else that we need to experience a greater expression of life itself. It is what brings us to a state of higher awareness in such a way that comes with a lot of peace. That's the best way I can describe it. Is that self-love brings peace to my experience of life. And when I can continuously give myself love, I can actually find peace in being in everybody else's experience. And it seems like the people that come to me bring even more peace. So it's a tool that really does take you into an experience of being in love with life. Appreciating life and embracing life. And my personal journey to loving, I discovered that there are a few things that self-love kind of requires of me. It isn't just something that I was supposed to do one time and then leave it. One of the things that came to me that I have to be accountable for this physical form, and the mental experience that I have in life. I have to be accountable for that. It's up to me to do what is necessary for this to experience and to flow through me. So, me looking at myself and loving myself, I find that I began to do things that would take me into enjoying and physically experiencing a better life. It also I found that I was inspired to do that year, to actually teach that class. And so when I did that, I found that all those things were just bringing a lot of joy into my life, a lot of beautiful people and souls that were rich in demonstrating their awareness of the spirit within. And I think that one of the things that really hit me is that I was able to embrace my environment from a different place. When things happen to me or things happen around me, I was able to see them as experiences that were teaching or bringing a higher awareness to me, rather than to feel like I was get involved in something like hating or judging or being angry or experiencing that type of energy. I began to see and look at things that happen around me as an opportunity to learn more about myself or to embrace some kind of greater understanding, to expand my awareness of life. So my environment became richer for what it was bringing forth from me. And it was truly an understanding of what is being reflected from what's inside of me. By being accountable, I began to really put that together, that I'm experiencing things this way because of what I have put into it. So it encouraged me to step up to the plate and do more. And then it was, the idea next was to be of service to myself. You know, I often found that people were encouraging in my careers and the things I've done, it's been of service to other people. And I thought that I was being fed by that. But I found out it's a richer service. That service of being of service to myself, of providing myself with those things that are necessary for me to flow in life, to bring my consciousness into an awareness, an understanding, so that I can be more of an avenue to which the flow of spirit is being expressed. So being of service to myself became very important. And when I am of service to myself, and that's through spiritual practice and meditating and giving myself the love, that I found that I can love other people a lot easier. You know, it's easier to love them because I found that when I love myself, they seem to reflect that love back to me. So it became easier for me to be with somebody else because of that experience. And I also felt like I was contributing to the world because the love that I found that I could pour into myself, it kind of flowed. It was like a circle of flow of life itself. So it was like, okay, this, and I started thinking, boy, if everybody did this, it would be all right. So it does get better. It gets better and better. The more I love me, the more I found that I could love you. And it was, so serving myself was a good thing. And what I recognize also is that I need to recognize who and what I am. The laws of the universe are actually doing the creating. So when I know who and what I am, I can appreciate that more. I can utilize that more. I realize that what I am is directing it towards what I want it to flow through, and let the law do that which is necessary for the manifestation to come into expression. So, you know, it's kind of interesting because sometimes I get very distracted and I want to go, as Rosalie Emma was saying, I want to fix things outside of myself. You know, I want to make it better, but working on what has already happened not realizing that where the work is required is in here. I need to change my thinking, or change my concept, or shift the way I'm seeing something in order for it to be a different experience. I think that if I adjust it a little bit here and just it's going to make the difference. But what I learned was in this process of loving myself, if I go in here, I can get a change that is smooth, with ease, and with grace. So it's this being, and when I talk about this concept of what is going on with me, and one of the things I realize more than anything, that there is but just one. There's one consciousness, one mind, one being, and that each and everything that I'm experiencing is a manifestation of that. And that if I know that about myself, then I can know that see it and perceive it in a greater way in the people that are around me. The spirit of life happens to us by happening through us. So I begin to understand that what I find is true in me I'm finding is true in the next person. But I can see it. I mean, by actually living and feeling here, I can see it better. I can experience it better in the next person. And it's realizing that and recognizing that as that this is what the laws of the universe are actually doing. They're creating according to how I allow it. So that brings me to the concept that I got to be humble enough to realize that that's what does the work. The law of the universe does the work. We direct it with our conscious thought of choosing the direction that we want to move into. It allows us that's the freedom. And we do it. But the laws of the universe actually do the work if we allow the flow to happen. That allowing that flow of spirit through us brings to the experience the energy, whatever is necessary. So if we have the awareness on that within us, that experience that manifests out here is a result of that law doing the work. And that's when I know that when it gets all jumbled up and it's confusing, I know that I have left it alone and I have got back out there again, and I'm going to do that human thing and make it all right. And it does happen. I mean, that was the way I thought things were supposed to happen. I was supposed to make it happen. So sometimes we slide back into it. But in actuality, we have to know that it's the law of the universe that is doing that which needs to be done through us. And I can let go of the controlling and fixing and directing and all that. I can stop that. And things will get a lot better. There was one more thing that came up for me is in this loving myself process, I have to honor who and what I am in such a way that I know that the intelligence of the universe is flowing through me and I have access to it at all times. And that when I open my mind and my consciousness to express, if I can trust and know that this is there, what comes forth into expression is going to be just right for this moment. When I can align myself with the idea that this is the infinite intelligence that is always everywhere present, that is doing that which needs to be done, and I am the way and means for it to come into expression, and that each and everything that I do is a result of it flowing through me according to how I open and receive that flow. It is awesome what it can do and how things can turn out in such a way when we realize that this is our truth, that this is what each and every one of us are living. We're living from that place. And when I talk about it from this place of the I realize that I may be anyone in this room because I am living it according to how I experience it from you and each and every person that I experience in life. The power that I access in myself is the joy, the beauty, the wisdom of life. It's in here. And I know that I am the avenue for which it to come. And that is not just true about me. I know that's true for everybody. So that's how life flows. So this experience with homes this past year, you know, you read these things and you read them and you read them, and I've been reading them for a long time. So, but sometimes they click. And I feel like this year a lot of that clicked for me. And I realized that. And I realized that the process of me stepping into that journey of loving myself gave me these experiences. So I'm beginning to associate those things of accountability and honor and service. I'm beginning to associate them with how my life is flowing into expression. I'm realizing that that's my part in this journey. I have to take my steps and setting that flow into on a path in which is enriching. There's nothing in this world that's against me except what I create against me. There is no objection to my being in any certain way except what I set into motion. Now, some of that I will acknowledge came from just the environment and how we were raised and all that. But the thing about it is, that stops when I learn and understand the truth of who and what I am. That stops when I begin to take responsibility for who and what I express in life. And living the life from this perfect principle, how do you say it? Perfect God, perfect human, perfect being. That is the basic principle. So when I find myself going down that road of judgment, of hate, or anger and stuff, I come back to the idea that this is the truth, and this is what I got to start back with. Just come on back. It's no use knocking, judging, guilt, and all that stuff. That's a waste of energy and time. Come back to the idea of the truth of what it is. Yes, loving myself is my responsibility. And to the extent that I do it, there's an incredible power that's flowing through me. So it's worth me taking the time and energy to engage in activity that will reinforce that idea. And when I say this, I say it with love in my heart because I realize that this love that I have poured into me helps me experience all of you from a whole different place. I find myself loving people more intimately than ever before. I can really appreciate, and not only just appreciate it, but letting everybody let it be just where they are, just how they are doing it. I can now say it's okay. And when I object to it, I realize, I got to go back here. When I try to make it another way, I go back here. So I can appreciate this. So self-love is wonderful. And as I'm willing to be of service to myself, to honor myself and the world by recognizing who and what we are, by being humble enough to realize that the laws of the universe is constantly waiting to do the work. It's me putting the words and the thoughts and the concept and the belief system in place, and it works through me. So as I ask the musicians to come back up, one of the things I really like to say is that each one of us are on this journey. And I feel like, if I say nothing else, that you are the greatest gift the world could ever experience. Each and every one. The uniqueness of spirit is infinite in its potentiality. And I see so much potential, so much greatness. Can we just step into doing it? Give it to the world, share it. We resolve all the problems that we see that are being expressed. And thank you.
Here we are, here we'll stay. There's nowhere else we want to go. Where we are, there's nothing else that we really need to know. Hand in hand we'll go on. We keep a walking together day by day. Hand in hand we'll keep it up till we've gone all the way. What is it that we really want, but that which gives us better sight? There'll be times when it's not so clear, but we'll still know it's all right. Hand in hand we'll go on, keep a walking together day by day. Hand in hand we'll keep it up till we've gone all the way. So here we are, here we'll stay. There's nowhere else we need to go, 'cause where we are, there's nothing else that we really need to know. Hand in hand we'll go on, we'll keep walking together day by day. Hand in hand we'll keep it up till we've gone all the way.
Thank you, Rosalie and Alex. Beautiful, beautiful.
I'll start.
There
you go.
Okay. You started, okay. So
I am
ask the ushers to
so
come
blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And it truly is a blessing. But we know that these gifts in this basket are a symbol of the universe saying yes to us. Yes to the life that we are living, and yes to the choices that we are making to move on this spiritual path in such a way that we may give more to being who and what we are. And not only being that, but recognizing and appreciating in others. And as we know that this center becomes a symbol or light, an avenue which the spiritual light of life is shining, not only for ourselves, but our community, our city, our country, our world. To recognize and understand that the generosity of life is an opportunity to practice being the spiritual being that we are, we appreciate it. And as we express our gratitude for this and accept that we are these avenues, we can rejoice together as we say, and so it is. Oh, children. I'm going to get this order together in a minute. Oh, where's the children, Kelly?
We have no children today.
You had no little ones today, did you? Yeah. So, huh?
Oh, so we talked about peace, and that Memorial Day could be a Memorial Day for the end of war.
Uh-huh.
We also talked about Chloe's dad, who was a veteran. Grandfather, excuse me.
Okay.
I didn't know that my grandfather was a World War II veteran, and we talked about peace. And now he is not here, and he is watching me in spirit. And thank you for being my hero, and you are the best.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Kathy, you want to come and pray us out?
I invite all our practitioners and ministers to circle the room. And this is your opportunity to put anybody that you know, or perhaps you, who just needs a little extra special blessing. Right now, just put their name in the light, knowing that everything, that all their desires are now has come to fruition. And so as you join me right now in consciousness, as I speak in the first person, as I recognize that there is this one power, which is a power of love, peace, harmony, trust, It is divine guidance and direction, and I am one with this spirit of God's love. Guidance, direction, peace, harmony, and trust. And so I hereby proclaim right now that I just feel this inner peace and inner love, this love for myself, and as I emanate this love for myself, I radiate it and it attracts to me back. And I know right now that as I feel that inner peace and I envision a world where it is completely peaceful and harmonious, and there is no need for anybody losing their life for their country, that there's just automatic peace. And I proclaim right now that I am divinely guided and directed in every day in every way. And so I am so grateful, thankful, and appreciative for this beautiful day with Reverend Nancy, with our beautiful music, and with the people, Mike and Linnea working on the sound, and for Alex and Rosalie singing. Everybody here, I just give thanks for them and for myself and for this beautiful sanctuary. And so with gratitude, I release my word into the law of mind as I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is.
Please stand for the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.